Welcome to Her Money Revolution. I'm your host, Angela Brooks, your guide on this journey to becoming a wealthy woman. As a certified financial planner, owner, and advisor at Family Capital Management, I'm on a mission to simplify the conversation around investing and to help women generate more wealth by making their money work for them. Join me as we navigate powerful financial planning strategies to help you achieve your personal and professional goals. This podcast is your go-to destination for no fluff, easy to implement financial and investing advice. If you are ready to achieve audacious financial goals, dream beyond boundaries, and generate massive wealth for you and your family, this podcast is for you. Grab a notebook, let's get started. Hello, and welcome to Her Money Revolution, the podcast where we empower women to grow their wealth by making their money work for them. I'm your host, Angela Brooks, and I am beyond excited to have you here with me today as we get ready to set ourselves up for an amazing 2025. Today's episode is all about laying the groundwork for success, mapping out goals, building the right mindset, and setting intentions that will keep us inspired, keep us disciplined, and keep us moving forward all year long. So if you're ready to turn your big dreams into actionable plans and make this the year that you finally reach those financial and life-changing milestones, you are in the right place. Let's dive in and start building our path to financial freedom and abundance. Here we go. So why is it important to set financial goals? Well, just like with any other goal, any other area in your life, having a plan gives you direction. Without clear goals, it's easy to let the days slip by without making progress, right? Financial goals give you something to strive towards. It motivates you to stay disciplined and help you track your progress along the way. So setting goals is more than just saying, I want to save more money or I want to pay off all my debt. We need to get specific, intentional, and realistic with our goals so they're achievable. Now, hear me out. One of the best ways to set financial goals, and I'm sure you've heard of this before, but it's using the SMART framework. This framework ensures that your goals are specific, that you're clear about what you want to achieve. They're measurable, define how you will track your progress. They're achievable. You set realistic goals based on your current situation, that they are relevant. Make sure your goals are aligned with your overall financial priorities, and time-bound. Set a deadline for reaching your goals. So for example, instead of saying, I want to save more money in 2025, try saying, I plan to save $10,000 in my emergency fund by December 2025, so I'm going to set up automatic transfers, $834 into my money market each month. See how much more action-packed that is? It's specific, $834 a month. It's measurable. 834 times 12 gives you a little over 10 grand. That sounds achievable, right? It's relevant. 10 grand is a solid emergency fund for most of us. And it's time-bound with a clear target of December 2025. And yet, it's limiting. Yes, you heard that right. SMART goals are limiting. This kind of goal can actually block abundance. Why? Let me tell you. Mediocre goals bring mediocre results. Now, if you're wondering wait, don't you love SMART goals? Yes, I do. I do love SMART goals. They are powerful. They are necessary, but they're just one type of goal. If you want to design the life of your dreams, it's important to understand that there are 3 different types of goals. And I'm going to discuss each one of those later in this episode. But if we only rely on SMART goals, we are holding ourselves back from reaching our full potential. Why? Well, they're SMART goals. They're achievable. They're realistic. What if I told you that I have a technique, a secret technique to unlock your wildest dreams? Well, guess what? I do. I have a technique. All you have to do is buy my online course. Just kidding. I don't have a course. I don't have a course yet, but I do have a technique and it really, really works. So the other day I was looking back at my past vision boards And I realized that nearly everything I'd put on them has come true. Honestly, my oldest son was with me and he was literally taking a pen and he started checking off each picture, each goal that I had achieved. It was wild. It was really fun for me to do with my son with me. And I thought, dang, I should have been dreaming bigger 10 years ago. I wish I would have put bigger goals on there, but it was so crazy. Or maybe it wasn't, because I have a strategy and it really works. And I do want to share it with you. There's no course. I want to share it with you today. So let's start. But first, let's talk about something foundational. I believe in manifestation. Yes, Christians can manifest. And I know some of my Christian friends give me a hard time about this. And I'm not confused about manifestation. It doesn't replace biblical principles or Jesus or prayer. It's about harnessing the power God's given us to align our thoughts with faith. Maybe I'll go deeper in another episode, but here's what I mean. I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that God makes a way when there seems to be no way, when it seems impossible. What we think about, we bring about. There is real power in our words and in our thoughts. And the Bible says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. This isn't just a theory for me. It is essential. And yet, even with all of that, it goes deeper, because living the life of your dreams, your God-given dreams, requires more from us. It's more than just positive thinking. It's more than just believing that God will make a way. It's about aligning your beliefs, your faith, and your actions to actually shape our reality and to design the life of your dreams. And I call it the transformational goal setting. It is a 3-part approach that goes beyond traditional goal setting to unleash your full potential and align your goals with who you truly want to become. This principle reminds us that while manifestation and faith set the intention, action turns that intention into tangible results. And it works. I'm a living proof. So here's how it works. I want you to set goals that trigger a feeling, an emotion so strong that it transforms you. I call it a breakthrough goal. A goal so big that your life will never be the same when it happens. Just think about that. The kind that feels a little scary, or maybe a lot scary right now. A breakthrough goal that drives so much emotion, it forces motivation. Now, I know that this might be different from what you hear from Tony Robbins or Mel Robbins or others out there, but hear me out. I set goals that fire up the right emotions, and an emotion that powerful demands massive action. The thing about massive action is it requires you to become a new person, the next level version of yourself. And to get there, you need to feel that fire in your belly that motivates you to take action. So motivation that gets you out of bed every morning, or that keeps you up late at night, plugging away one task at a time. So we need motivation. The next step in my secret, discipline. Now stay with me. I know if you know me, you know that I live by discipline. My husband says that I have a high say-do ratio, and people around me, people in my life always talk about how disciplined I am. But listen, don't let that become your excuse. Don't dismiss what I'm saying because you think, Angela, you're just really naturally disciplined, and that's not me. That's not who I am. Okay, fine. Stay where you are. Keep wishing for more money. Keep wishing for more time or that perfect job or the perfect marriage. I had a client the other day that was joking, and she's like, I just wish I could win the lottery. And I asked her, do you even play the lottery? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, right. Well, you kind of got to play the lottery to win the lottery, right? So here's the truth. You're here. You're listening to Her Money Revolution because you do want more. So you are disciplined. You're ready to let go of mediocre life and grab into the kind of discipline that transforms. You're ready to give all you got and take massive action. And when we have self-discipline in one area of our life, it leads to self-discipline in other areas of our life. So discipline is essential for changing your life, and it can be built by making and keeping small little promises to yourself. Now, I know that money is a big hurdle for a lot of people. It was for me as well. Sometimes you get so close to your goal and then it costs what feels like a lot of money. So you stop. I've done it. You don't take the next step. I've done it. This is what I call an abundance blocker. When you follow the steps that we've covered in episodes 1 through 11, you'll have the resources, you'll have the funds that you need to reach higher and to keep taking that massive action instead of thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to cost me a lot of money. I want you to try to shift your mindset to say, if I don't invest in this, whether it's a course or a website for your new business idea, whatever it might be, it could end up costing me even more in missed opportunities. So don't let that abundance blocker of not having enough money stop you or limit you. Okay. Now, if you're still thinking, Angela, I just don't see it. I can't imagine my business ever taking off. I don't think I'll ever be able to max out my investment accounts. I'm still stuck in this job that I hate, even though I think positively and I say my affirmations every day. I get it. I hear you. I hear everything you're saying, but I just don't see how it will happen for me. Okay, you're right. Fine. Wait, let's stop. So go back to where I started at. And if you're thinking, Angela, I just don't see it. And if you're thinking, Angela, just don't see it. I can't imagine my business ever taking off, or I don't think I'll ever be able to max out my investment accounts. Or maybe you'll say, I'm still stuck in this job that I hate, even though I'm thinking positively and I say my affirmations every day. Or maybe you say, I hear everything that you're saying, but I still don't see how it will happen for me. Okay, I say, you're right. You know that moment in the movie, I don't know if you've seen the movie Boss Baby, that scene where Tim and Ted are riding their bike to the airport and Ted says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And then Tim's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I absolutely love that scene. I think it was actually Henry Ford that said that quote. But Ted is absolutely right. And that's the third fundamental truth in achieving your wildest dreams. Belief. Belief in yourself is everything. You have to have so much belief in yourself that even when the people who've known you the longest start to question if you've lost your mind. Why? Well, because they know your history. They know that you don't have the experience it takes, or that you have been working on the same thing for years and years and still have little results. They might even remind you from time to time of how many times you've started something and never followed through. But guess what? You're not that person anymore. You're not who you were yesterday, because a breakthrough goal demands that kind of unwavering, unshakable faith, that faith in yourself that says, I can and I will. And when you believe in yourself, you tap into something way deeper. You realize you are equipped to achieve your wildest dreams. No matter how big they may seem, you've got what it takes. You are a new person, one who does things differently. And in order to achieve breakthrough goals, it demands that you start doing things you've never done before. And because you believe in yourself so fiercely, you can't help but step into the version of you were always meant to be. So if you're taking notes, the 3 key fundamentals for achieving your big goals are motivation, discipline, and belief, or unshakable faith. And there's so much depth to understanding and truly living out these 3 fundamentals. I could go on and on, but for the sake of time and for this episode, I want to talk about the other factor that I mentioned earlier, and that is that there are 3 different types of goals. And I think that they boil down to these. The breakthrough goal. I've already mentioned it. This is your big, audacious, holy cow, this is actually my life kind of goal. A goal so massive that when it happens, your life will never be the same. Like, think about that. It's the kind of goal that activates the law of attraction. It draws in the resources and the people and the opportunities that align your vision and how you want to design your life. It's a breakthrough goal. And then we have the SMART goals. I told you I do like them. I do like them. They're necessary. But once you have your breakthrough goal, You break them down into smaller, achievable steps. Your SMART goals. Those are the specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals that keep you motivated because they're within reach. So I believe that SMART goals activate the law of action, turning your dreams into doable, actionable steps. So SMART goals keep you motivated because they bring tangible results. For me, I like to check things off. I like to see that I'm making a result. That keeps me motivated. And you believe that they are attainable because they are, right? Each accomplishment that you have, that you reach, strengthens your belief in yourself. And when your belief gets stronger, your motivation gets stronger. And as you achieve these SMART goals, your confidence grows, your belief in what's possible becomes rock solid. Do you see where I'm going here? And here's the key. Since these SMART goals are linked to your breakthrough goal, every small win brings that big life-changing goal closer to reality for you. With each step, your belief fuels your motivation. It empowers you to take even bolder, bigger actions. See where I'm going? It's a cycle. The cycle of success, belief, and motivation becomes unstoppable. And the next type of goal, the third goal, is your maintenance goals. These are the daily habits and routines that support and sustain your progress over time. Think of these as the foundation, keeping you consistent, keeping you accountable, keeping you aligned with your bigger vision, your breakthrough goal. Maintenance goals are necessary. They help you build resilience, they help you stay disciplined, and create a steady momentum that fuels both your SMART goals and inevitably your breakthrough goals. So the secret is combining these three types of goals with the fundamentals of motivation, discipline, and belief. I hope you're following me here. This is some good, I get excited about this stuff. This approach really does allow you to tap into your potential on every level. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. So the success that you're working towards isn't just something that you achieve, it's how you live. It's what you do. All right. So we've talked about the three types of goals: breakthrough, SMART, and maintenance, and the three fundamentals: motivation, discipline, and belief. Now let's talk about how all of these work together and how you can start using them right now to transform your life. Now, again, remind you, I believe in manifestation. That doesn't require the how, right? You're supposed to just trust God and all those things. I get it. I believe that too. But I'm going to force you, or I'm going to encourage you to think about the how. You have to put action into all of the thoughts, right? So how do we do this? This podcast is designed to give you bite-sized steps, the action steps. And that's what I want to do. But before I jump into how, it's important to recognize that the how process requires you to have three different roles, three different responsibilities. Maybe you've heard of it, the Walt Disney Method. So the Walt Disney Method, well, if you haven't heard of it, look it up, Google it. But basically, it's a brainstorming technique designed to help you generate ideas, to help you solve problems, and to make decisions. This method involves adapting a series of roles or thought processes in a certain order. So let's break this down. Okay, each role is best performed in a specific setting. So changing your physical environment where you're located, whether it's in a different room in your house or your office or a park, your car, wherever it might be, it helps you stay fully immersed in each role. So the sights, the sounds, the smells, the space work together to reinforce the mindset needed for that role. Okay, for example, me, I am naturally a doer, an implementer. I want to get stuff done. My husband, my business partner are more of dreamers. They get stuff done too. If you're listening, you guys are awesome. But you come to and I get it at my office and I get it with my husband. I'm like, oh, there's times they dream big and I love it. But when my husband comes to me about this dream about living on a 50-foot yacht one day, or my business partner has this big idea about how we can improve something in our business, it's just going to require all of these things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I immediately jump into implementation mode. Like my mind starts to try to figure out how We can do this. And oftentimes that mindset shuts down the creative process. Okay. Especially if the how feels overwhelming, or if it feels impossible, or if I'm already feeling stretched thin, which is pretty much my life right now. So I have trained my mind, or my husband or business partner, hey, what conversation are we having right now? Are we dreaming? Are we implementing? Because I don't want to be a naysayer, but understanding the Walt Disney method when you set your goals for 2025 is necessary. And for me, it was too, because like I said earlier, I looked at my vision boards and I achieved most of them. Ones recently, they're a little bit more of a stretch. I consider those my longer term goals. But I want you to implement this method, the Walt Disney method. So when I initially work on designing my life and setting up my goals for 2025, I start by stepping into the first role, and that is the dreamer. And for me, I have a specific space in my house, a room that sparks my imagination, an atmosphere that excites me, from the smells to the decor. It allows me to imagine freely, which is kind of hard for me. So this is a special space that I feel excited about the possibilities. It's not my office where I get stuff done. It's a space where I focus on the big picture of my dreams. I let myself visualize and be creative without limits. I believe that anything is possible. I let my emotions and my feelings dream, and I anchor that feeling in that space, right? So when you're in the role of the dreamer, ask yourself these questions, and I do it out loud and I answer them out loud. And you should do this in each phase. But ask yourself, what do I want? What will I be doing? And where will I be doing it? When will I begin? Where? Why? Who's going to be with me? What are the benefits of achieving this? What will this mean about me as a person? How does this make me feel? What is God calling me to do? What is my purpose? What do I think about? What will it benefit those who are close to me? Or how will it benefit those that are close to me? And this isn't just a 5-minute thing. This is a process, right? I start early in the year, October. I start kind of asking myself these questions and journaling them down and trying to really hear from God and hear in my spirit to design my life. We only get one life, right? We live every day. We only die once, or more. But when you're in this role, the role of the dreamer, this role will help you get clear on your breakthrough goal. What's that big, audacious, life-changing goal that excites you, that scares you, and that makes you wonder, oh my gosh, is this even possible? Don't be afraid to think big here. You have to. You have to imagine what your life would look like if you achieved it. Oh my gosh, crazy, right? Let that vision sink in. Feel that. It's so exciting. Like, it just makes me so excited. This goal should be so powerful that it lights you up from the inside out. It gives you so much motivation to get you up every morning with purpose, to go to bed every night excited for tomorrow because I'm going to accomplish one more thing to get closer to my breakthrough goal, right? I went to a seminar a couple years ago now, and the motivational speaker was talking about your income. And he's like, how much money do you want to make? Write it down. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. Everybody grab something to write it down. Write down the salary that you want to earn. Everybody wrote it down, and I wrote it down. And I'm saying it was a she, was the motivational speaker. And she says, now I look at that number and double it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I already wrote down a pretty big goal. She says, double it. Okay. That's the stretch that you should be doing for yourself for these breakthrough goals. That's the imagination. That's how crazy these dreams should be. Okay. So the next role is the planner. Here you act as if the plan is entirely possible, but your job is to look for ways to make it happen. So this is where it's easier for me. This is where I naturally go to the planner. So I have to go into a different location, and you should too, right? I don't go into my space where I'm dreaming and I'm being creative and I'm in la la land creating stuff. I go to a space that I can really get stuff done. I get a plan done, a different room where I act as if the dream is fully possible and achievable, but now I have to come up with the strategic steps to make it reality. So you should do this in a practical and realistic way. You should aim to develop a detailed and manageable plan of action. So go to your space and ask yourself these questions again out loud. How can I make this dream happen? What are the main chunks or sections of this dream? How do they follow one another? What steps must I take to make each chunk happen? Why is this step necessary? Why is this one necessary? And this one? What resources, the time, people, how much money, etc., do I need to make it happen? What will I see and hear that will be evidence that each chunk has been achieved? What will I see and hear that will be evidence that the dream has been achieved? Work through those questions. This is where you break down your breakthrough goals into SMART goals, the small, achievable steps that will build the path to that larger vision, that breakthrough goal. Each SMART goal is a mini win, right? A step forward that not only shows you progress, but also strengthens your belief that the big goal actually is possible. With each small success, you're building momentum, and that belief grows stronger. So remember, when belief gets stronger, motivation naturally follows. And suddenly, what once felt impossible feels inevitable. It's such a fun process. Truly, truly is. The last role in the Walt Disney Method is the critic. So here, you look for flaws and loopholes in the plan. In the critic role, you only interact with the planner, not with the dreamer. Well, listen, it's one person, right? I'm talking about you. It's just you. You are the dreamer, you are the planner, and you are the critic. So this is why it's so important to have different locations for each role, because they're going to trigger different emotions that are anchored in that room, right? So you have to work that muscle. You have to train your brain to stay in whatever role it is that you're in. Don't let that critic interfere with the dreamer. And it's hard. You got to practice it. But the critic's job is to find weaknesses, preempt problems, and ensure that the success of the plan, but leave the solutions, right, of these potential weaknesses up to the planner. You're just the critic, right, in this role. So when you're acting as a constructive critic, I should say, ask yourself out loud and answer it out loud. What are the weaknesses in this plan? What am I missing? What is inappropriate? What problems could occur? Who might object? Who will be unfavorably affected by this? When and where might this not work? Or maybe it's not desirable. And any other weaknesses in this plan. And then recycle these questions if necessary until you have the perfect plan. The critic and the planner may spend a lot of time together to try to figure out, okay, what's the perfect plan? And I'm saying, like, for me, a couple months, right? 3. I really start October, November, and December. By December, I have a solid, pretty sure I got my perfect plan. And my husband and I take a vacation. He and I go somewhere in January, and we really kind of flush out, and I communicate with him. Here's some of my thoughts. So, but once you have your perfect plan, keep in mind the perfect plan doesn't help if you don't implement it afterwards, right? So you can plan, but without action, it doesn't do anything. So you must take action with your SMART goals to build consistency, to move into what I call those maintenance goals. Okay, so the maintenance goals are your everyday things. The SMART goals are the stepping stones, but your maintenance goals are the habits and the routines that keep you moving forward. So think of these as the daily commitments, right? These are the actions that might not feel exciting, but they are the backbone of your success. staying on top of your budget, practicing self-care, or sticking to that workout routine. With these maintenance goals, you're creating a foundation that strengthens your discipline and it keeps you steady, even when motivation dips, because that does happen, right? But the discipline is the engine that keeps you moving forward. And when you keep moving forward, you build momentum. Eventually, what used to be a big goal becomes a lifestyle. It's just what I do. For example, let me give you an example. I used to have on my vision board a goal to work out 4 days a week. I'm going to get up at 5, etc. I'm going to work this goal. That is no longer on the list of goals. It's just part of my daily routine, like brushing your teeth. So a no-brainer. It's my lifestyle. I used to have a goal to fully fund my retirement accounts. It's not even a goal for me. It's an expectation. I've set up the systematic contributions into my investment accounts. It's easy. It's automatic. It's just part of what I do, right? Maintenance goals allow you to automate and internalize these actions, making room for your energy and focus to be directed towards even bigger breakthrough goals. It's exciting. It's so fun, you guys. I just hope, listen back. I feel like I'm going through a lot. I am. Listen back to this and take some notes. And really, it's a perfect time to start if you haven't already. But here's the other thing that's really important. Throughout the year, you can't just do this and then not follow through with stuff, right? So throughout the year, check in with yourself. Check in with your motivation and your discipline and your belief. These are the lifeblood of this entire process. So make it a point to ask yourself, how's my motivation? Am I still feeling that fire in my belly? If not, it might be time to revisit your breakthrough goal, right? Get re-inspired, reconnect with the bigger vision and purpose of your life, your God-given purpose. How's my discipline? Am I showing up consistently, even when I don't feel like it? Remind yourself that discipline isn't a punishment. It's a form of self-respect. How's my belief? Do I believe I can actually do this? If you're doubting, go back to your SMART goals. Celebrate those small wins and let them remind you that progress is real and that you are real and that your dreams are within reach. And lastly, embrace the power of faith and action. If you're still here, if you're still listening, it's because you want more than just talk, blah, 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 blah. You want transformation. This is where we bring the power of both faith and action. Believe in yourself and in the process. Embrace that idea that yes, God will make a way and you have the power to take the steps that He puts in front of you. It's about holding a vision that's both spiritual and practical. You've probably heard it. Faith without action is just a wish. Action without faith is empty. But when you have both, it's like having a jet engine pushing you forward. You'll not only reach your breakthrough goal, you'll become a person who sets goals, achieves them, and keeps growing. Thank God in advance for providing a way for your breakthrough goals to manifest into your life. This is gratitude, right? I love this one. My son Easton actually does this on a regular basis. He says with so much excitement and so much belief. It's kind of confusing sometimes, but recently he's been saying, "Thank you, Mommy, so much for my Nintendo Switch. I love it." Mind you, we don't own a Nintendo Switch. We don't have any kind of gaming system yet. But his gratitude, his excitement for what's yet to come is incredibly powerful. It's putting faith into action. When you thank God in advance, you're showing trust that your desires will manifest. And this creates a powerful, a positive expectation that aligns your mindset and your actions towards those goals. I thought Easton was just a master negotiator, and he is. He really is, actually. But more importantly, he has already embraced this concept that putting faith into action. And his "thank you, Mommy, for my Nintendo Switch" is a wonderful example of childlike faith, believing so fully that something good is coming that he expresses his gratitude as if it is already here. You guys, there's so much power in that. There is so much power in thanking God before receiving the blessing. I believe in the importance of declaring gratitude in advance as a way to strengthen your faith, to shift your focus to positivity, and to open the door of possibilities and to open the door of blessings to come into your life. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Are you? Just like my son's excitement. When we approach life with this kind of gratitude, it creates an atmosphere of joy and expectation, and it sets you up to receive all that you're working toward. It is if gratitude in advance is a magnet for the good things that you desire, drawing them closer and closer to you, helping you recognize when they are here, when they are coming. And that's the secret. You're not just chasing goals, you're becoming a new person, capable of things that you once only dreamed about. In closing, your goals are a roadmap, a fundamental start over. In closing, your goals are a roadmap. Your fundamentals are your fuel, and your faith is the light guiding you forward. You've got this. So go out there, set those goals, activate your motivation, lock in your discipline, and hold tight to your belief. The world is waiting for your breakthrough version of you. Thank you so much for listening to Her Money Revolution. Go after your dreams with everything you've got. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you are feeling more empowered in your financial journey. Remember, follow and subscribe to Her Money Revolution on your favorite podcast platform, and share your feedback by leaving a review. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway from today's episode. Until next time, stay inspired.